It's because I'm your dude. That's why I said it. What up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. And all my podcast people, I appreciate you as well. Oh, on to my left, right is my brother Terry Little. And below the comment king is Cole Johnson. I appreciate him. The comment statistical researcher sports king in the building. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us. Oh snap. Let's see. Is he in the building? He is in the building. Pastor Brian McCory just stepped in the building.
Good morning, Pastor.
Yippee-ki-yay. The gang.
The gang's over here.
It's going to be a good Monday when you got everybody in the building.
Yes, sir.
Who that background is?
Hold on. I went mute. It's funny. I was, you know, how Facebook does the memories.
Yeah.
And I had one of the memories where we were doing a pastor cast with the Brothers of Legacy, and I mentioned Lisa, and I was like, Lisa in the building. I was laughing like, oh man. Said, are we there yet? Not yet. We getting there. And if you haven't, quick plug, join our community. Text brothers to 84576. Text brothers to 84576.
Come on through here.
All right.
I did.
Yes, indeed. All right, so today we're talking about, can Brotherhood save America? Can Brotherhood save America? Mark, good morning, my brother. Good morning.
Morning, bro. How things in Texas?
Right.
Gotta ask.
It's a little warmer now, so I know that much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that Facebook is tripping with the notifications again.
Trying to hold the brothers down. See there? Brotherhoods need to come together. Trying to hold it back.
Well, before we get crunk here, AD, I want to shout out to Deacon Rollins, who is probably going to come and see us on YouTube. But today's apparently his birthday.
Yeah.
Sean Rollins. Yes, sir.
Sean Rollins and his daughter.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, and Sienna. Yeah, he and his daughter share a birthday.
Together. That is like dope.
Ooh, that was a setup. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing.
He can't get anything for his birthday. He has to spend on his birthday.
Man, how do you get that, bro?
Sienna was operating from the womb.
Right. Like, hold on, mama. Hold on. We got one more day.
Master plan.
Look, the Bible came alive. Before I formed thee in your mother's womb, I sanctified you a budget buster.
Not the budget.
In the name of Jesus. Church.
All right, gentlemen. We'll be right back. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
All right. We is back. Oh my God, we're back.
So make sure, as always, sharing is caring. And tag somebody that you want to be a part of this conversation, needs to hear this conversation, has something to contribute to this conversation. And we'll definitely appreciate them, appreciate you. And if you've not, as you can see, scrolling at the bottom, probably have scrolling for the full show, join our community. Text brothers to 84576. Text brothers to 84576. Stay connected to us as we make some movements, make some changes, do some great things in our community from here, virtually and real worldy. That's a word. All right. So today we're talking about can Brotherhood save America? Can Brotherhood save America? And and brotherhood is not just racially motivated, but brotherhood as in men, period, coming together, getting past certain differences and things of that nature. So I'm gonna ask that. It's my general question. And we spoke about this, but I got some levels to this. I know Pastor like I've never said this before, maybe, but you know me, I like to dig a little deeper, to see how low, how rooted can I get with some of these topics and questions. So my first thing is like, what is the level of coming togetherness can you see? Does that make sense? Like, how much of a community can we build together as men? Because I know there's always the mantra, black folks don't stick together. So that's already a level in itself before we even include anybody else in the fight. How inclusive or can we be within ourselves, and then how far you think we can get with adding other people in the fight, as far as coming together to change our communities, and even attacking something as simple as like police brutality. And I say simple because it's something that you see that should be deplorable regardless of who it is, you know. So that's my first question. How far do you think we can get as far as building together as a community of men?
Coley Cole. All right.
He's going to hand it off to him.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, if we're determined, we can get far, right? But see, the way we as men are set up, there's an issue and a problem with basically I sort of look at how men are with each other, like being on hard top in basketball, where when you think of basketball as a team sport, but the biggest ones that excel seem to be individually gifted. And so men seem to have that mentality of, I'm gonna get mine, forget yours. And that just seems to be the case. Because ever since I have been living, I've heard this growing up with my father. I've heard it in songs, like Public Enemy has a song called Brothers Gonna Work It Out. Simply for the case of
Sweet song.
We're seeing differences amongst us as men, especially black men, and we have to come together. And if we do, we'll actually have a bigger power base from which to operate.
Right.
But you have to understand that it is very true. The saying is, when we heard, and we were all younger, that united we stand and divided we fall.
Right.
But we don't care about that as individuals. Not saying this panel doesn't.
Right.
But mankind seems to not care about that, because we don't think we're divided, for one, and we don't think we'd fall even if we were thinking that we're divided, because we don't see the use of coming together. I think about the end of the song. I think about the end of the song "Stakes is High" by De La Soul, where you have a guy who just basically extemporaneously talking, and he said that you have brothers who don't want to be they want to be divided. They don't want to come together. They want to be divided. And this was a 1995 song. So if you can point at that song, and that's now 26 years old, and say, wow, that could actually be just as timely today as it was then, and it could actually apply and be applicable to eras before, then that's a problem. But if we're determined, yes, we can do that. Yes, we can come together, because we need to.
Very good.
And if I may, before Pastor Brian gives his pearl of wisdom and shut this whole thing down, let me go ahead and get mine in real quick. I'm on Cole. I'm with Cole 100% on this. I think, to his point, I feel like men live on a level of pride that is epic. And sometimes that pride gets in the way, and we don't want to deal with other men because of that pride. I mean, if you look at social media, think about this. If you see, one of the examples I always use is Janine Cummings, and I love her. I love London, UK. and she has a group, a women's group, and those women come up and come and show out and support each other. But you don't have any male groups like that because we don't want to. It's like Cole said, it's about what I can get. I'm gonna get mine. I don't care nothing about yours. So I think it's a level of pride. I think for me, it's a level of pride that we just roll in that would hinder us. Now, can we get to a place to where we can grow together? Absolutely. But it's a definite, to me, a definite mindset change we have to take place. Hey, Sam, a definite mindset change we have to take place. I mean, because we have to first get out of us if we want to make,
That's good.
Yeah.
Pastor. So, hey, Dwayne, good morning to you, sir. Before Pastor speaks, so my panel is getting full. So, express maybe a while, but don't go too long because we try to make sure everyone gets a word in and we can definitely keep it going and flowing.
Indeed.
All right. Go ahead, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Auntie.
Oh, he said, Pastor, where's your hat at today?
No. Don't encourage him.
No.
You only got one hat available.
Don't encourage him, Sam.
You put that Cowboys on y'all.
Right? You already know it.
No.
You hit a subscription and break out that Cowboys mug and sip on it.
It just didn't match my shirt today. Truth be told, whenever you all see me with the cap on my head, it's because I have not shaved my head, and it looks like it looks like a bad day in the yard.
Hits the hat, sir. Hits the hat.
Right. You can always tell, like when the sun comes out after a while. The part of your yard that you water more than the other part tends to burn.
No.
That's an analogy.
That's me when I've gone 4 days. Yeah. Thank you, Sam. Keep my back, sis. I appreciate you.
Oh, man.
Listen.
Oh, man.
The one thing that I want to say, one thing that I appreciate about this platform is that we all have a point. We all have a narrative. We all have a position, and they're all strong, right?
Yeah.
And I think, and I've said this time and time again, what we do here is what should be done nationally,
right.
In every community, right? This is not for show. This is just brothers coming together,
right? And
we're just giving our extended community an opportunity to listen in and participate in something that we do already. Right. So I think more of this has to happen. I think first and foremost about coming together, we have to recognize the value that we have. Mm-hmm. Right. It's about recognizing how valuable we are, appreciating our value, and what I just said, knowing that we all have a position. They may not all be the same positions, right. But the fact that we have everybody has a position, I'm sure everybody is strong and they feel confident about their position, and we have to reason with one another. Mm-hmm. But if we understand our value, I think we'll overcome what divides us.
Okay.
The concept of it's better when we do it together. Right. When you really understand your value, then you'll know that my brother is not my competition.
100.
Right.
So I think that's the beginning of it. I heard one of my homeboys say, who's actually running for mayor back in Illinois. He says this whenever he gets off his whatever he does on social media. His final statement is always, you're either going to get better or worse today.
Right.
He said, but one thing's for sure, if you don't have a seat at the table, then you're on the menu.
Right.
So we have to come together collectively and recognize how valuable our seat is at the table, because if we're not at the table, you can rest assured we're on the menu, and we spent far too much time on the menu. That's J.J. Hollis.
Father in that thing. Can we go home now? That's it. Mike,
Hit him with a clue bomb, Terry. Hit him with a clue bomb.
I can't find it anymore. Oh, you know where it is anymore. I think it's here. I don't know where it is. I might be
I guess the main thing is having a seat at the table.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Where the decisions happen. So would you say? So it's in essence, those that share my same views, those that share Terry views, those that share Dwayne's view. Long as each view has a seat at the table, we have an opportunity to shift some things, and each person is represented. Each view is represented in the decision making.
That's the I call it. I look at it like this: when Christ walked the earth, he had 12 disciples, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
What you're talking about is the discipleship, the 12 disciples or the 12 apostles sitting at the table in our community,
Right.
But at the end of the day, everybody spoke, but there was still one voice,
Right.
And so, but there's always a Peter, James, and John.
Right.
Our problem is everybody wants to be Peter, James, or John.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're right. And everybody can't be that. And so what happens is, if you can't be Peter, James, or John, you're sitting back in the corner talking to Judas, criticizing the work that Peter, James, and John are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why we can't get a seat at the table, because collectively, we don't all have to be on a national table. Collectively, we all have to have a national voice. And the leverage that we get in gaining a national voice gives us a seat at the table.
Right.
Yeah. Or they become a Judas themselves in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's important for us to come together, because the more we come together, the more attentive the system will be to our words.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Right.
The racial tension in America we've learned a lesson. It's crazy. You know, the position of racism in America. So it's important for us to understand our value, and how, if we understand our values, it's critical for us to come together and have one voice. And the tighter we become together, the louder our voice, and the further our voice carries.
Right.
That's the reality. And then the system will have to respond to that. And in that case, absolutely, then the world will understand better the value of the black man. But it begins with us understanding our value.
No question. No question.
All right. Dwayne, you want to share something?
Real quick.
Hit us that fire, Dwayne.
A quick question, first of all. Cole, you were referencing "We Are the World." Was that the song that I came in? And my apologies for my tardiness, fellas.
You good?
I'm trying to say, I said brothers are gonna work it out.
No, the other was De La Soul.
Okay, gotcha.
De La Soul's stakes is high.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so while you were doing that, it took my mind to "We Are the World," 1985. And when we think about that song, how many people do you really remember? Unless it was like your jam. You remember the Michael Jacksons, maybe the Bruce Springsteen,
right?
We're saving our own lives. Right then, and then Pastor, he goes and he brings us to another level. He was like, we remember Peter, James, and John.
Right.
If somebody asked you a question, who the other disciples, the other 12, could you? And then if I named Andrew, Bartholomew, James the younger or the lesser, Judas, Thaddeus, Jude, Matthew, Matthew, Philip, or Simon the Zealot, or maybe Thomas, you don't remember them, right? And Pastor said it probably as best as you can. And see, here's an even deeper revelation of that. There were more than 12 disciples. There were 72. So you had some whose job was different, but most people don't even care about that, because they only cared about their voice being heard. And I'm going to bring this back to a Christian point of view, because in my estimation, that's where it starts, right?
Right.
We are one body.
That's where it starts.
Right.
God puts us in the body where he sees fit, and every joint within the body is supposed to supply what's needed. But when we're too busy trying to be Peter, when we're too busy trying to be John, when we're too busy trying to be Andrew or whoever,
right,
we neglect our section of the wall. And in order for us to be better, we have to individually occupy our position on the wall. As Pastor said, our seat at the table. And until we do that, can we make America better? Yes. Can we save America? Absolutely not. So we got to focus on positioning ourselves at the proper place on the wall.
right.
Mhm.
And that comes from love.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
That's true.
No
That's
question.
true. But everything comes back to self. No matter what we do, it comes back to us.
Wow.
Us. And so we have to get to a place as men. We have to get to a place to where I can trust myself. This is me.
Right.
This is Terry. You know,
Mm.
I gotta get to a place where I can trust myself to be able. My camera went away.
We can hear you. We can hear you though.
We can hear you though. We can hear you though.
Don't worry, keep on.
I'll tell you.
Take your time.
But we have to get to a place where we're able to trust ourselves. And for years, I did not trust myself. So I always felt like I didn't have a voice. So I would be that guy in the back. And I would be that dude criticizing everybody else. I remember when I first started on Periscope, that's 4 or 5 years ago, however long ago it was. And I used to be, because I didn't have that following, because I didn't, I was going through something in my life personally.
Right.
I felt like I didn't have a voice. And so because of that, I would sit back on Periscope and I would criticize everybody else. Look at that. I was a hater. Simply because I didn't have my stuff together.
Gotcha.
I didn't have my stuff together as a personal, individual issue. Not nobody else's.
Crabs in the barrel mentality. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it stymied my growth because I was sitting right there because I didn't want to acknowledge anything. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to look in the mirror and say, hey, this is the reason why you're not growing. This is the reason why you don't have this or that. But I was too busy doing everything else other than that. That's why I never went anywhere. I never grew.
Okay.
That's mentality.
So so I'm glad you started with that one, because in the back, the people that are just always looking at things from a negative perspective, nothing's ever going to change. This is, I'm going to argue everything because, I'm just a little bitter and I feel like, the negative is always there. So what kind of shifted your mindset? What shifted your mindset out of being in the back or constantly feeling like, y'all ain't doing it right, or coming together is it's an impossible thing. And what kind of pushed you into more wanting to be involved or a part of it?
I actually stopped caring. That was me. I could not worry about anyone else and their content and what they're doing. I had to stop and look at myself. I was in such a bad place to where, first of all, I was selfish for even thinking that I had an opinion on anybody else's stuff when my stuff is bad. You know what I'm saying? I was crazy for that. And so I had to stop. One day I woke up, I said, you know what? I can't do this. And I had to work on Terry.
Okay.
And when I started working on Terry and started delivering the content, because I wanted to impress everybody. That was a problem.
Okay.
I wanted to impress everybody. I wanted to go live and have 100 people come to my live.
You want to be the right. You didn't want to be an Indian. You wanted to be the chief. You wanted to be the chief.
Right. I wanted to be Matthew. Some of us can't handle Matthew, but we're trying to force that square peg in a round hole, and we ain't ready. It's just like the post that I put up the other day, and and the post said, "Be careful of your tongue when your heart's still bitter. Hush into the bill." And so that was me. That was me. That was me. And until I did that, then I could go forward. We have to stop stymieing our growth by doing it. Stifling our growth by doing that.
Gotcha. All right. So let me ask, and it's going to the roundtable. Everyone can throw in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you think can we lay down our ego or agenda in order for the team, in order to build together? And if so, how? Because we all know people that are kind of like ego driven. They got to be up front. I got to at least get a moment to speak in front of the people. Like, I can't just sit in the crowd and just contribute. Like, I got to have my moment. It is possible, but how, can we change those that want to be seen more than heard?
Terry brought up when he said the crabs in the bucket mentality. I just want to point out something about that mentality, because most people think it's about holding the next man down, but it really isn't. Crabs are just trying to get out of the bucket. See, what we got to understand is we're in a place currently that's not our natural environment. We wasn't designed to be in buckets. And when you put in a bucket, the only thing you care about is getting out.
Right.
Those crabs aren't like, oh, he's almost there, let me pull him back down.
They're just trying to get out.
They're just trying to get out. When you look at crabs in their natural environment, that's not their behavior. Right. So I think, like Terry said he had to get his haterism in check and start seeing his own self and fixing his own self. Right. It's individual. We individually have to get in the right environment. Sometimes that's self-healing. Sometimes that's learning how to love yourself. Sometimes that's seeing yourself the way God sees you. But as long as you're in your bucket, we're going to continue to have these conversations, and we're going to continue to see the same thing over and over. We got to get out of the bucket first. Yeah. Right. Individually. Right.
Or embrace how Terry is. Embrace the petty. I mean, he has a hoodie that says "God ain't petty, but I am."
Yeah, I am. Yeah, gotta embrace it. You gotta know you embrace it.
Right. Yeah, but who's embracing it? Are you embracing your own petty? Because not everybody can handle your petty.
That's right. I had to embrace
exactly.
Yeah.
Great point, Pastor. Great point.
Yeah.
But you said something, Terry. And Sean Rollins echoed it.
Oh yeah,
it took you looking at self.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It always begins with self. And what I find interesting is your confidence grows when you improve, when you grow.
Exactly.
Right. And the more you're working on self, the less you're looking at other people around you. I think we kill ourselves with comparison.
Telling you.
Right. Right. That's the challenge. Stop thinking and about the crowd. Everybody wants to get up in front of the crowd. I had a preacher say once many years ago. He said, "Everybody wants to preach, but very few want to pastor."
Come on,
wow. Right. Yes, happy birthday, Sean Rollins.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
That's because leadership is not fame; it's accountability.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody wants to be heard, but very few are listening. Right. That's the difference, And so, life is about really not only growing yourself, but making sure you're encouraging other people to grow around you. I love what Dwayne said about the crabs in the barrel. That acknowledgement. You're right. A lot of them are just trying to survive. Ted Cruz is the latest example. he just want to get out of Texas.
Don't get me started on Senator Cruz.
That's a whole other show.
He just want to get out of Texas.
Got you.
Knucklehead of the week.
He was.
Wow. So, right. Oh, we said you don't have to be loud to be heard. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Speaking of being loud to be heard, tonight and together. 8 p.m. We have Purpose for Forever. No, you good. You good. But it's a little twist happening. We got a little remix. I'll let you check it out.
Dropping a new song.
Dropping new stuff. New stuff.
Remix.
All that beautiful bean footage, bro.
All right, we'll be right back.
Me and you together. Me and you together. Our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together. Our purpose for forever.
All right. Long.
What y'all missed was Terry was in the back dancing like he was Teddy Riley, and Cole was doing a Young Jock.
Yeah, buddy.
But
I didn't see it or hear it.
You didn't hear it?
You didn't hear it?
I didn't know.
You missed it, Pastor.
What? I'm back here jamming, bro.
And look, Trey Songz hopped on the track.
Found a male Janae Aiko up in this place.
just as a quick shout out to my man Wesley Short. He provided that. Yes, that dude has an amazing voice.
Listen,
man, y'all need to be check that dude out because he's awesome. He's awesome.
He's
part of Solomon's crew. I just want to make sure just throw that out there. He's part of the.
I think you need to say that one more time.
He's part of the Solomon's Temple crew.
Cause you pastor, you don't just teach. Tell him again. Tell him, son. Tell him why you happy. He pastors. He don't just teach.
Can I make a point real quick? And this is kind of, I love this, and we're talking about
he doesn't like to get around with
the candle. I'm sorry, the back.
Turn them off.
Wesley, people like that. Producers.
Yeah.
How many producers do you know that are famous, that are hit makers, but never touch the mic? Right.
A lot.
This goes back to what we were talking about, knowing our position and knowing our role. Everybody can't touch the mic.
Right.
Just like everybody can touch the board. You know what I'm saying? So we need to. My mentality was, I know that I can't touch the board at all. I know I'm okay on the mic, right? So, but I had to learn my position. You don't always have to be in front.
Right.
Sometimes your position ain't there because what I learned from a very wonderful, one of my best friends is a pastor, and he said, everybody has a remnant of people that is strictly for your ear.
All right.
Now, whether that's behind the board or in the mic. So all you have to focus on is your remnant of people. I don't have to grace the mic all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I had to learn my positions. I think that's what we are. If we learn our position, we can affect more people. Because the Williams brothers had a great song back in the 80s. You guys remember the Williams brothers?
Sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine.
If you take 6 months to mind your own business and take the other 6 months, leave the other folks' business alone, you're gonna make it. And so I think I had to get to that. I had to go back to that. To that particular place, I had to start worrying about everybody else. And so learning my position and getting in it. It's one thing to get in, to know you have a position. It's nothing to get into it altogether. Right. It's not the Big Mac Road. Oh no, he's just playing his eyes.
Cole, you were Air Force, right, Cole?
No, Army.
You okay? So Pastor, you know this, and you know this just as well as I do. Another aspect, sometimes you have to have a certain amount of humility in your position, because as a young intel analyst, I used to think that I was so much better than other soldiers who was in a different position than me. Why? Because I had a top secret clearance, because I worked in a building where you had to have certain amount of access. You needed a swipe and a key card access just to get in. And then you still had to go through other things. So I thought I was better than the cook. I thought I was better than the person in finance until my paycheck got messed up, or until my leave didn't get approved, or until I got a bill from the doctor because TRICARE got funny with my kids.
Wow.
The bottom line is we need everybody to be in their position, or we can't be successful. You think you don't need to cook? Be in the field for 45 days and eating MREs, and then get a hot meal and see how good you feel.
Oh yeah, the difference is amazing. If you never had that, I'm just saying.
Nah, I missed out on that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, sir, you did not miss out on that.
No, you did not. But also I think that, to Terry's point, because both you guys make great points. Terry said something. I don't have to touch the mic. It's not necessary for me to touch the mic. When I was a boy, I was probably 12 years old. I was trained on how to operate the audio board in the church, in the small church.
Okay.
And I'll never forget when I was finally released to manage the board myself. I was left in the sound room by myself. And the preacher was preaching, and there was all kind of feedback. You know, it was just a bad day. And he's preaching, and he literally, while he's delivering the sermon, he shouts, "Get my sound right."
Right.
You know, and I'm 12 years old, and it crushed me up in that little room. Right. Because I got put on Front Street.
Yeah.
And I'm like ready to cry, like I just got a whooping, you know, and I'm trying to get the sound right. Right. And after service, that pastor never said a word to me.
Wow.
So I had to carry that all the way into the next week.
Right.
Okay. The next week came, and I'm like, I'm trying to be on it, and we had no problems.
Yeah.
Right. After service, he comes to me and he says, "Thank God for the word." And I said, "Amen, Pastor." Well, I probably didn't say amen. That's what I would have said today. Back then, I probably said okay because
Right. Okay.
But this is what he said. He said, "I want to thank you for helping me preach."
Wow.
There it is, right there.
Right. And when he said that, I felt like I preached.
Wow.
Exactly.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right.
That is the mindset that we have to have
Right.
when it comes to coming together collectively.
Right.
Because if you play a role,
Right.
you've done the job.
Exactly.
Just play your role.
Yeah.
Now you fast forward today, I have sound people, right? And one lesson that I learned is I can make a comment about the sound. Hey, the you know, it's a little too loud in the front, or I need to bring the monitors up.
Right.
But I won't negatively criticize publicly.
Right.
Now behind closed doors, man, what was y'all doing? Right. But here's the point. The point is, I used to do that job.
Right. It's all pieces.
But today is not my job.
Right.
What I won't do is go back there and try to tell you how to run the board that I've assigned you to.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So there's two ways of looking at that. You know, you don't always want to, even if you know what to do,
Right.
but you have assigned it to somebody, don't go do what you've assigned to somebody else.
Yeah. Right. Not true.
Right. That's true.
Takes you off your square. We need each other.
Yeah.
We need each other. If you take the time out of where you are now to go back and fix something that you identify as an issue, who's doing what you're supposed to be doing now?
That's right.
Right.
So we negatively affect the body when we try to do something that we've moved past, or when we try to do something that we're not built for yet.
Right. So that does. Right.
In the words of the great Rocky Maivia, or The Rock is what we call him, fellas, know your role.
And shut your mouth.
Know your role. That's what we gotta get to.
All right. So how do we build a brotherhood across political lines, and not even moving into those with different melon than us, those that have the same melon as us? How do we build across political lines into a space, knowing that we need to at least, like you said, with the constituent, the confidant, the comrade, you know, just at least making them whatever the furthest out is, just a comrade or constituent, because we're attacking a specific issue coming together. We may not agree on 60% of stuff, but this, at least, you know, that 40, can we come together to change, you know, this aspect of, let's just say, even your own town or your own state, you know, to rid the government of whatever, or policing doing a specific thing. how do we cross political lines with that kind of thought process where people, we have someone just like you, just on the other side?
If I can answer first, and this is just anything I say on here is just Terry's opinion. I'm just saying, but I think how we build that is most importantly get an understanding of each other,
right?
Because you can't, if you don't understand each other's point, there's no way you can grow. It's like a house of cards, a house divided, can't stand, and all that.
Right.
I think there has to be an understanding. That might not be always, like to your point, AD, is not always going to be an agreement, but at least there's understanding. I understand where you're coming from. I understand that we need training in police reform. I understand that we need to, and so first getting an understanding. Once you get an understanding, you can argue in peace. I know that's oxymoronic, but
I got you.
Argue in peace and not have to,
Right.
But first get an understanding and then be able to have communication enough to be able to say, okay, we need to do this, and then argue, then argue out your points. But first, to me, the first step, the first peg, the first block in the building that foundation is that we have to have an understanding of each other.
And then for me, I think as you focus on what you are alike, your similarities, focus on the things that you do have in common.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you call yourself a Christian and I call myself a Christian and you Republican, I'm Democrat or independent or whatever the case may be, if we can't come together on the Christ piece,
that's right,
then what are we really? So I think you got to find the similarities and start there, because if me and you have a reason to talk,
right,
then we can expand that conversation.
Right.
But you need to have a reason to have that conversation. So you got to start with what you do have in common.
Right.
Okay.
Get that understanding. Like Sean said, that's all you're getting. Get that.
Understand.
Yeah.
All right, Cole.
Stop being a cheerleader.
Okay.
Stop being a cheerleader. It is appalling to me to see if you fall under a certain umbrella of worldly topic, then that means that you have to be this particular political affiliation. Like, we're all Christians in this room. So that automatically means that the five of us should automatically be Republicans because of that. And you have many who do that. You have many who will take the pom-poms up and say, well, since I'm a Christian, I'm a Republican. Or since I'm for social justice, I'm a Democrat.
Right.
We have to take the cheerleading aspect out of politics and actually look at ourselves first and say, what is it that I can contribute to others? What message am I supposed to say? Of course, it's supposed to be firstly God's message, obviously, but beyond that, what is my message? And how can I galvanize people?
Right.
And then let me see if I can find like-minded people, Democratic or Republican, who aligns with me.
Right.
Because it's true that that if we're together, you can't be defeated. I mean, it is like what Stevie Wonder said in Black Man, but I love this lyric when he says, God saved his world for all men, all people, all babies, all children, all colors, all races, because this world's for you and me.
Right.
We have to get that. And if we don't get that, then what are we talking about?
I love this guy's brain, man. It goes parliamentary, I swear.
How about you, Pastor? What would you say?
About?
Oh,
He missed the question. I think he stepped out.
Oh, how do we build across political lines with those that look like us?
It's the same question. Listen, I don't think you can separate out crossing political lines, right? It's essentially what Cole just said. It's all the same, right? Why is it that if I have a mind to want to improve social justice, I have to be labeled a Democrat.
Right. Right. Right.
Are there no Republicans who believe in social justice?
Right. Right.
Are there no Democrats who that are Christian?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? You saying that if I'm a Christian, I have to be a Republican? Wait.
Right.
So you saying that every Democrat is the devil?
Right. 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 Right.
Right. So, wow, that's deep, Jay Hamilton.
Right. Like he just, that was good. I feel you. I feel you.
Jay.
Yeah, he's coming in here with some Malcolm X stuff.
Yeah, he done came. Yeah,
Look, he come in a fight with some kryptonite boxing gloves. Like, what?
and it's like,
Yeah.
first comment, he didn't come in and say hey or nothing. He just
I cannot feel
Stokely Carmichael
to help my cause.
Jay
we
comes
got
with a clue bomb right off the rip.
we're gonna come back around to that. We're gonna come back around to that. Go ahead, finish your point, Pastor.
So yeah, my thing is, it's funny. I gotta be corny with this, man. Some of you all remember a video that we watched probably 6 or 7 years ago, or maybe 5 or 6 years ago. We were in a church, we were in training, and we watched this video, and the video was labeled the followership principle.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the video shows a bunch of people at an outdoor concert, sitting out on the grass.
Right.
Music is playing, everybody's having a good time, and all of a sudden, one guy gets up and goes down the hill and just starts dancing all by himself.
Right.
In the beginning, he looks absolutely crazy. Nobody knows who he is. You know, he might have some friends with him, but nobody's dancing with him. So people are laughing at him.
Right.
Music is playing. He's having a good old time. He can't dance to save his life.
Right.
But he out there just flailing arms and just doing his thing.
I remember that. Yes.
And then all of a sudden, another person joins him.
Right.
Right? Now there's two people dancing. They just doing their thing, having a good time. They don't care about anybody that's watching.
Right.
And
oh, hey.
And then another person joins. Now it's 3 people.
Right.
And when the 3 people join, all of a sudden, a group of people join a few minutes later. Then the next thing you know, you got a huge crowd of people out there dancing, having a good old time. Right? Nobody knows each other.
No.
The one thing that they have in common is they're enjoying the music and they don't care who watches.
Right.
Yep.
Now, when it comes to this particular platform and this question, and it comes to wanting to improve the state of America, it's amazing how one person can stand on a street corner and start shouting about social justice.
Right.
And he looks crazy.
Right.
Might even get arrested.
Right.
Until he comes back with another person.
Right.
And another person.
Right.
And then you have a group.
Right.
And there is no question about whether or not you're a Democrat or a Republican.
Right.
All that matters is that you enjoy the song that's playing. Can you or do you agree with this? Do you agree with this point? Because if you agree with this point, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're independent. It doesn't matter whether you're a Jewish person, a Protestant, Lutheran, Baptist. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Can you agree with the song that's playing? And if you can agree with the song, if you can agree with the point that's being made, then let's go effect change.
Right. Right.
And that's what to Cole's point, that's what we need more of. Right. And less of, well, I would do that, but I'm a Republican. I would do that, but I'm a Democrat. We create division because of our category. That's the reality.
Right. 100%.
Boy, Pastor, you over here.
But yeah, can we cross political lines? Absolutely, we can.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be. You have to be comfortable in what God has put in you.
Mm-hmm. And
you gotta be willing to walk that path regardless of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Take all the shackles off, take all the limitations off, take all the inhibitors away. Because when you do that, I guarantee you there was a lot of people that was pointing at old buddy dancing like, hey,
Right.
whatever he got, I need to get a little bit of that.
Right.
And then the next person joined in.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
They was like, look, he done found his girlfriend. They both smoking that stuff. And then about 10, 15 people in there. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is something wrong with me?
Right.
Let me get in here. Let me get in the fray.
You gotta be willing
out there dancing ain't smoking.
Right. You gotta be willing to put yourself in a place where it doesn't matter if they like what I'm doing or not, or they think I got problems. This is what it is, and I'm gonna enjoy this moment, or I'm gonna act out in this moment. The problem is, like you said, Pastor, we're too concerned about what our counterparts may say, or what this church may look at me, how they may look at me, or the rest of my community, how they're gonna look at me.
Yeah. Some of our lives depend on it, man. Some of our lives depend on if we get out in this fight.
Right.
You spend me. I'll use Terry for example. I always use me as an example. I was so in a place in my life to where I didn't want to touch nothing, and my life literally suffered until I said, "Let me shake the fear." Shout out to my man. Let me shake the fear.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Shout out to Ken Wade. I got one of his shirts too. Ken Wade. And let me get out here. And then once I got out here and said, it's like to Dwayne's point, you got people out there dancing, and then somebody else joins in, and somebody else joins in. You got two people dancing crazy. They say, you got a flash mob. If everybody gets in there and do their thing, we can get there. And some of us need to just get out in the fight. Some of us need to really, for real, shake the fear.
It's as if. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to read this comment real quick.
Go ahead.
So we need to stop labeling people and putting them in a box, and stop having preconceived ideas, contempt to prior investigation. Go ahead, share your thought there.
Cool.
It's as if we are happy with the results from the Tower of Babel. We want we want to congregate with one another who has the same thought process, the same language, the same skin color, the same life experiences. We want to get together with one another and be comfortable with that.
Right.
But the lesson in what was the result of the Tower of Babel is we're not supposed to confine God. God is boundless. God is limitless. So that even with our different skin colors, different language, different life experiences, different age, that we should not limit ourselves, just like we shouldn't limit God in coming together. So what if we speak a different language? So what if I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, or if I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican? So what if I live in Tennessee and you live in California? Right. So what if Pastor's a Cowboys fan and I happen to be a Washington football team fan? So what?
That sounded funny.
Are we gonna let?
You can't be a Christian.
that sounds funny to Washington football. I can't hear that.
It don't sound right to hear that. Yeah.
I will not bring myself to say the slur. I never will.
I got you.
But we cannot let petty differences simply keep us bound to being where we are. I mean, we have to get beyond it. And what we have to understand is if we want to just simply build with one another, then that is a sign that we are limiting God in our own bodies, because we're saying to God, well, you know, that example that you told us that you had us all speak in different languages and scatter all in different parts of the world. Well, we can't build with Greeks. We can't build with Italians. We can't build with Mexicans. I'm an American. Or we can't build with whites. We can't build with Orientals. We can't build with Indians because we're black.
Right.
That's a spit in the face to God, saying that we're limiting what we're supposed to do, because we're supposed to build with everybody.
Come on, Cornelius and Peter.
But here's the thing, that I think, that was intentional. And remember, God,
of course, it was intentional.
But remember, in God's plan,
Right.
not everybody's going to make it.
Well,
True.
So we're talking about the same God,
right.
Right.
right? In God's plan, you know, the minute you say Jesus, you've lost people.
Right.
That's also part of the plan, right? In God's plan, with certain people you interact with, God is not even a factor because there's no belief. The question is, can you build a plan sitting next to somebody that don't even believe in your God?
True.
Because now, no, listen, I'm saying because we're talking about the things that divide us,
Right.
right? I believe we need to have more police on the street. Yes, I believe that too, but I don't believe in God. What?
Yeah.
Man, get out of here. I'm saying even for believers, you got to check yourself.
Oh, right. Right.
No question.
Yeah, because listen, we all believe what we want to believe, and we have division even internally with believers.
Right.
Right. So we oftentimes, we quote the scripture. Jesus said to the Jew first and then to the Gentile.
Right.
His message was for everybody, knowing that not everybody was going to respond to it.
Right. Right.
Right. So depending on your motive, and here, when we talk about trying to really get to the next level, you got to know who to have at the table, but you also have to know who not to have at the table.
That's right. Yeah.
Is your agenda so strong? It's like for me, the Bible says, can two walk together except they be agreed? That ain't just for married people.
Right.
Right. Right. Right.
That's me and Dwayne.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't going nowhere if we don't agree.
Thanks.
Right. So my point is, where is our discipline? And, back to AD's earlier point, the confidant, the comrade, the constituent. Listen, everybody that's a comrade don't believe your God.
Right. Right. Yep. That is true.
Right.
Indeed.
Everybody that's a constituent is not going to be there at the finish line.
Right.
So some of our problem, we can't wait for others. Sometimes we have to know when to walk away.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right. Did Jesus hang out with Judah too long? Did Jesus give Judas too much information?
Right.
Gave him what he needed to have.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a sermon.
Right.
Did Judas have too much information?
Right.
We may have to part two this, sir, because what you're saying right now, that part, this is the part where the rub exists.
Yeah.
People don't know how to disagree with what you believe spiritually and walk with you and what we need to accomplish socially.
So that's good, because I had this question here. He said, I cannot build, and for my podcast people, I cannot build with my oppressor. How do we identify the oppressor?
Oh, it's clear.
And
yeah, that is clear.
So, okay, so we're going to talk about that tomorrow then. So we're going to make that clear tomorrow. Let's go make that clear tomorrow. So make sure you guys share, and tag, because we're going to really dig into this tomorrow. How can we identify our oppressor? And is it true that we cannot work with them? Is it true? But don't answer that. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same back
here. The question is, can policy change how you feel about my skin color?
Right. He said, since you can build this, he said, as you slowly teach with this process. If they are trying to suppress your oppression, Jay, if you're available tomorrow, we want to have you on. So this is going to be a nice heated conversation, because and the words of my brother Ephraim, not just Ephraim, says, I got questions.
Why are you asking all them questions?
All right. So listen, make sure you're here tomorrow. Make sure you share this broadcast, because this is going to be a deep conversation. This is the part where we really start building, getting past those lines and having understanding and knowing who to work with, who not to work with, and how to work with others. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel.
Texas.
Yes. Oh man, thank you. He said it's hard to sit down with an atheist. Ooh, but we go. Ooh. Don't say that, Pastor. Don't say it.
My neighbor's an atheist, so I got some heat for you.
Great broadcast. Love you too, Mama Corey. Let's see. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna get out of here. Yes, in Texas, go to Text Brothers, BROTHERS to 84576, and you will get an alert of when we go live. You will get an alert directly from us when we go live and other things that we got happening. So please, I'm telling you, you want to be part of this community. When you don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this movement. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys. Yes, V, have a wonderful day as well. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel. I know my brother Cole may not be able to be with us. Hopefully something happens and he can. Good stuff. All right. So we see you in the morning.
I didn't want to catch that morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning. Everybody.